Tartila Crocodzilla, the turtle who became a legend. Once upon a time, in a faraway land, there lived a turtle named Tartila Crocodzilla. She wasn't like any other turtle. No, Tartila was a legend in the making, with a heart as vast as the ocean and a mind as sharp as a dragon's claw. Tartila was born in the quietest part of the Great Marsh, an expansive stretch of land covered in thick fog and dense trees. Few ventured into these lands, but Tartila always felt a strange pull, as though something greater awaited her. She wasn't content with staying in the marsh like all the other turtles. She dreamed of adventure, of discovering distant lands, and finding the truth behind the strange stories whispered in the wind. As a baby turtle, Tartila was already larger than most of her peers. Her shell was a rich green with patterns that resembled the jungles she lived in. It wasn't long before she was given the nickname Crocodzilla because of her unique appearance. Part turtle, part creature of legend. But despite her outward size and strength, Tartila had a gentle heart. She always helped those in need. If a small creature needed shelter from the rain, she would let them rest under her shell. If a bird lost its way, she would guide it home. The animals of the great marsh all adored her for her kindness. However, there was one thing that set Tartila apart from the rest of her family. While her friends were content with the simple life of the marsh, Tartila was filled with an unquenchable curiosity. She had heard stories of the enchanted forest, a mystical land where the trees whispered secrets of the past and where ancient creatures roamed free. The idea of this magical forest consumed her thoughts, and she knew that one day she had to find it. One crisp autumn morning, Tartila decided that today would be the day she embarked on her journey. She had packed a small satchel of berries, nuts, and a map she had pieced together from old stories told by the creatures in the marsh. With a final glance at her home, Tartila set off, determined to find the enchanted forest and uncover the mystery of her destiny. Her journey was long and difficult. She passed through dense thickets, crossed rushing rivers, and scaled jagged cliffs. But despite the challenges, Tartila never gave up. Along the way, she met many creatures who were intrigued by her. Some offered guidance, others shared wisdom, and a few even joined her on parts of the journey. One such creature was an old, wise owl named Ulysses. Ulysses had lived for hundreds of years, and he knew the land better than anyone. When he saw Tartila, he immediately knew she was on a quest of great importance. "You seek the enchanted forest, do you not?" Ulysses asked, his eyes twinkling with ancient knowledge. Tartila nodded. "I must find it. I believe my destiny lies there. I must understand who I am." The owl nodded thoughtfully. "The enchanted forest is no ordinary place. It holds secrets that not many are ready to face. But you, my dear, are no ordinary turtle. You have the strength and the heart to withstand whatever comes your way." With these words, Tartila felt a surge of determination. She thanked Ulysses and continued her journey, now with a deeper understanding of what lay ahead. As she journeyed deeper into unknown lands, Tartila encountered many challenges. There were times when she doubted herself. The forest grew darker and more foreboding, and strange sounds echoed around her. The path became less clear, and the creatures she met grew more mysterious. But she pressed on, guided by the belief that she was destined for something extraordinary. One day, after days of wandering, Tartila found herself at the edge of a cliff. Below her, a vast expanse of trees stretched out, bathed in a golden light that seemed to pulse with magic. This was it. She had found the enchanted forest. But as she stepped forward, a shadow loomed over her. From the depths of the trees emerged a figure, a massive creature, part bear, part lion, with eyes that burned like the sun. "I am Grivik, guardian of the enchanted forest," the creature rumbled. "What brings you to this sacred place, turtle?" Tartila didn't hesitate. "I seek to understand my true purpose. I believe my destiny is tied to this forest, and I am not afraid." Grivik studied her for a long moment. "You are brave, little turtle, but the path to understanding is not easy. To prove yourself worthy, you must pass 3 trials: the trial of courage, the trial of wisdom, and the trial of the heart. Only those who are truly ready may enter the heart of the enchanted forest. Tartila nodded. She had come this far, and she wasn't going to back down now. The first trial was the trial of courage. Grivik led her to a dark cave, filled with strange echoes and shadows. Face your fears, Grivik said. What you fear most will challenge you here. Tartila entered the cave, her heart pounding. Inside, she encountered visions of her past, times where she had felt small, weak, and unsure. But as the shadows closed in, Tartila stood firm. She realized that her true fear wasn't the darkness, but the fear of never fulfilling her potential. With newfound resolve, she stepped forward, banishing the shadows with the light of her courage. The second trial was the trial of wisdom. Grivik led her to a clearing where an ancient tree stood, its roots entwined with the earth. The tree spoke, asking Tartila a riddle. What is the greatest treasure in all the world? Something that cannot be touched, but can be shared by all. Tartila thought for a moment. She looked at the tree, its wise branches reaching toward the sky. The greatest treasure is love, she answered. It cannot be touched, but it is the most powerful force in the world. It can heal, it can unite, and it can guide us through the darkest of times. The tree smiled, and the riddle was solved. Tartila had passed the second trial. The third and final trial was the trial of the heart. Grivik led her to the heart of the enchanted forest, where the most beautiful flowers bloomed in vibrant colors. But here, Tartila was tested not by her strength or her knowledge, but by her compassion. She had to choose between saving a rare flower that would grant her unimaginable power or saving a small creature in need. Tartila looked at the flower, glowing with power, but her heart told her otherwise. She knew that true strength lay not in taking for oneself, but in helping others. Without hesitation, she chose to save the small creature, a tiny rabbit trapped in a thorn bush. Grivik appeared once more. You have passed the trials, Tartila Crocodzilla. You are not just a turtle. You are a protector, a leader, and a symbol of what it means to live with a pure heart. With those words, the forest opened up before her. The enchanted forest revealed its greatest secret. Tartila's destiny was to be the guardian of the forest, to protect its magic and its creatures for generations to come. From that day forward, Tartila Crocodzilla became a legend, a symbol of bravery, wisdom, and love. The creatures of the enchanted forest looked to her as their leader, and Tartila never wavered in her dedication to her home and her purpose. She had found her true calling, and she had become the protector of the magical land she had always dreamed of. And so, the turtle who once dreamed of adventure became a living legend, known throughout the land as Tartila Crocodzilla, the turtle who saved the enchanted forest and became its greatest guardian.